The vanguardism of TPLF, I think, is the biggest threat both to themselves and to the Tigrayan constituency.
What are your observations, Professor, on the internal split within TPLF? Is this an ideological disagreement or power struggle or generational divide?
Because that election will be organized by the National Election Board. And Simret is a legally registered party in Ethiopia. TPLF is not.
If Tigray decides to pursue full independence, what forms of resistance or pressure might it face?
Yeah, then Tigray will be the war zone of the battle between Addis and Asmara.
So, do you think TPLF would survive just like the previous times?
From Isaias's viewpoint, this is again all about survival of himself. It's nothing about connecting people to people. It's nothing about helping Tigray. Under Getachew Reda was his interest to separate the party and government, to separate the party and local administration in particular. That was understood as a direct threat to the dominance and control of TPLF of the Tigrayan constituency.
If Ximdo solidifies into a structured state-level partnership, whose political ideology and the governance model do you think would prevail and trigger a domino chain on the other side?
At least the Fano insurgency, and particularly over the last couple of months in Wollo in particular, apparently is advancing, is at least maintaining a high level of capacity to confront federal forces.
I think that Isaias has already put a red line not to even think about independence. So,
and hence we do see that they are more and more restricting the space of alternative voices in Tigray. For instance, the comment on media, which Mojorno made some weeks back.
Given the growing autonomy of Ola in Oromia, TDF in Tigray, and Fano in Amhara, to what extent does Abiy's daily message of unstoppable prosperity and unity aligning with reality?
One thing is if Isaias dies in office by medical or age conditions. Another thing is if he's pushed out by Ethiopia.
Maybe. Who do you think bears the greatest responsibility for that situation?
So as long as the insurgencies doesn't threaten Addis, well, the government is functioning. Yeah? There's no worries, my friend. There is prosperity because we have Addis.
You describe TPLF as being at the center of the crisis of the Tigrayan people. So from your long engagement with the party's history and the leadership, how do you interpret its actions and choices since the war?
That the Afars to reunite, as some want, or for the Tigrinya group on both sides of River Mereb to reunite, as some argue, or for the Western lowlanders in Eritrea to reunite with the brothers and sisters in Sudan, as some argue. Weeks operations in Wollo by the Fano would likely not have been so successful without outside help, to use that term. And I think that's a dilemma we do see in Tigray today. I do put question mark who is representing the Tigrayan majority constituency today politically. The party leadership is falling back into some old traditions which they should break out of instead of reproducing. By some of the Amhara nationalists who claim that Assam is part of Greater Ethiopia or even all Eritrea. So they will be put in a bit of a squeeze if they're going to fight Addis when the objective of Addis is to reclaim the Red Sea, which they also want. Going to the bush, being a shifta, is somehow admired politically, culturally, historically. That actually the alternative of the enemy is better for the well-being of our people. That is the dilemma you're under. Well, you say it was initiated by Isaias?
Yeah.
You have proof of
Reportedly,
that?
I said reportedly.
Yeah,
I
okay.
said reportedly.
Yeah, okay.